Hello, welcome to Insane Friends Live. It's Wednesday night. Tonight we're going to have Ouzo Lou as our guest.
How you doing?
Shortly. In the meantime, welcome back to the show. We'd like to thank Camaro Time for being our first guest 2 weeks ago.
Woo.
And Gregory Salvatore, who was our guest last week. Great guests they were, too. We'd be happy to have them back on here anytime.
You're going to have to change this quick.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is my let's see here. Apparently, let's look at that. It's not showing up there.
But it wasn't showing up on mine either.
Oh, I see right there. I don't know why it's put the wrong episode on there. Edit. Yeah, she just pointed out to me that the title on that episode of this week's says episode 2, which this is not episode 2. This is episode 3. And corrected that now. Right. Okay. All right, so we'd like to do some shout outs for people that have been commenting on our videos.
I'm buffering and
Are you?
Yes, it's
trying to see the live comments?
Yeah, I don't got none of those. I don't even
and
have...
Surprise, surprise, our most recent comment was from Ouzo Lou on our videos. And then before that, DSW Joyride Productions. We really appreciate y'all's support. And Mojave KY, which is Kentucky, not the other thing. Little Dumpling and T Throg and Steve O. Shine Bright Studio Photography, The Night Owl, Fab Automotive Detailing, and Rusty Zipper, Johnny Pro.
Hi, Night Shame.
Hello, Night Shame. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for coming to the live.
He's asking if we're monetized.
Oh, absolutely. Have been for a long time. Years, actually. So are you monetized? Well, not our other channels are not monetized, but this channel is.
My sweetie pie.
Is yours monetized yet, Night Shame? While we're waiting for his reply, I'm going to continue shouting out some of the people in our comments. Jesse Stanley.
He says no, he's not, but he will be eventually.
Alfredo L2. Yes, that is true. Good attitude towards that. You, how many supporters you got, and do you have the watch time yet?
Turn this up. I can't hear.
Ooh,
I think
seem to
Ouzo
have
Lou
Ouzo.
is here. Hello, Ouzo Lou.
Hi, how you
Good to see
doing?
you.
Good. How you doing?
Good.
It's great to see you guys face to face.
Oh, we need our ears in. Otherwise, we're gonna have.
Yeah, nice seeing you guys.
We're gonna have echo and
Trying
everything.
to get settled.
I'm sorry. Can you say again? We didn't have our ears in.
Oh yeah, good seeing you guys. We just got in trying to set everything up.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been one of those days all over the world, hasn't it?
I've been
Both
having a
ends.
Monday on a Wednesday. I don't know about you guys. It's been
Yeah.
awful.
We made it through it though.
Yeah, it's been. Is that on?
I think so.
Yeah, you're on.
All
Yeah,
right.
the-
Just making sure. Yeah, the internet's been real bad the last couple of days too, going in and out a lot lately. So yeah, we've been having some problems with that. Haven't been on YouTube that much the last few days. Every time I get on there, it seems like it goes out.
yeah, we've been having some storms around here, so it's just kind of been in and
Yeah,
out.
windy.
Okay. Well, I would like to ask a few questions because I love your channel.
Okay.
It seems like you two enjoy bonding through YouTube. Is that what you started out to do?
No, I made the channel, I don't know, over a couple years ago, but I didn't have anything on there. And when I first started, it was just I throw a video about a detailing product that I tested, and it was just to document it for myself. Is how long it lasted, and I just do a video, just a short video with my phone, and then me and him last summer we started going to Woodward again, and then we started making more video, and then we started bonding more with the video and doing a YouTube thing after that. Yeah, so I mean, at first it wasn't. We didn't start the channel to do that, but then it ended up being like that.
Yeah.
Us bonding and at shows and making videos, and then coming up with ideas.
What was your favorite video that you two done together?
Pardon? I was getting
What's your
lag.
What's your favorite video that you guys have done together?
I say mine would be when we went and seen the Steve McQueen bullet car at the Detroit Auto Show.
Yeah,
I think that was
Okay.
my favorite. I think that was the way we did it was pretty neat. I think that was that series. I think was probably one of my favorites.
yeah.
At that car show was probably one of our favorites.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. It was fun filming. It was just kind of like a nice scene being there. So yeah, for sure the Detroit auto show.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that footage of many a time. It's one of his favorites.
Oh, that's it. Thanks. Yeah, we took a lot of footage there. We went on a Monday morning, so we didn't have the crowd from the weekend, and then we were able to just sit and everything and enjoy. We took a lot of footage. And it was nice. Jim had a set up on the chairs where you can recharge your phone or camera, and then we went over there and recharged our stuff up because they were going, getting low on the battery because we were taking so much footage.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's one of my
that's why
favorite. Go ahead.
Oh, that's why there was so many videos out. I'm still making more, just cutting some up, making them smaller on each booth, just kind of throwing them out there when I didn't have time to edit a video or something.
Well,
Here and there,
that's-
still throwing.
Yeah, we have a lot of footage like that too. Now, I noticed that there's a lot of variety on your channel. What would you say your favorite car is, though?
Well, for me, my favorite car is probably the '87 Corvette. I'm just a Corvette person. I love them. So I just like being like around it, working, just kind of like fixing it up, just like putting the sealants on it and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a real Corvette. He's into Corvettes and he really likes the '70 Plymouth Super B. That was on our last video. He didn't want to leave that area.
Yeah.
At the swap meet, they had that yellow one. And those were his two favorite. Mine is I have to say the Mustang. I grew up around the Mustang, and it's the Mustang. Yep. Yeah, I knew you liked the Mustang. Yeah, you gotta like the Mustang.
Yep. Who doesn't know that I love Mustangs?
Right.
The only Mustang I've ever met that I didn't like was the Mustang 2. But we won't talk about that. That's not even a Mustang.
You can see some nice ones. Some people, they're hard to find now. You don't see many of them.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised because they really didn't stay running too long.
No.
Well, they were basically a rebadge, something else.
What? Pinto?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to say it. It was awful. It was bad times to record.
Yeah,
well,
and for
I'm
Harley
a
at the time, late
Southern
70s was
I'm
really
a
bad for
Southern
Harley
lady,
too.
and we don't
Those
care
are
what we
AMF
say.
years for Harley
yeah.
too.
I think that whole
As long
I
as
think
it's
all
true.
those systems were bad.
Yeah, and then Triumph went out of business, and there was no Triumph, and well, I think it was '79 they went out, and BSA had already died out in the early '70s, '72 or '73, so there was a lot of trouble in a lot of our favorite lines of manufacturers.
Yeah, the Vincent Black Shadow was gone. Norton was gone. Harley's been constant. Huh?
Yeah, Harley's been out for a while. There's a lot of Harleys. And then some, BSAs and then those bikes. We seen them on that swap meet last week. That BSA, that was nice.
Was a nice one.
It looked beautiful. I didn't see how much he wanted for it.
Well, we got some footage of a few of those at the Hot Rod City when we were filming out there. We haven't released yet. We've got such a backlog of footage to edit so far. And just like you guys, we do such a wide variety of things because it's just such a great smorgasbord of things to see and do at the car shows and stuff. I think it's another thing we share in common in our channels is our love for so many different types of vehicles.
And there's two of us too.
Yeah, we have a pair.
It helps. Yeah, it's true because our channels are kind of similar. Where we're taking, we're not stuck on one brand or one vehicle. It's all of them, and that's what our channel's about too. It's not just, even though his favorite's Corvette and I'm the Mustang, we try to show all the vehicles. I mean, because they're all great, all the classic cars, even the modern muscle cars, they're all great to see and just to show them all. And I think that's what kind of hurts our channel too a little bit, is because we're not stuck on a certain brand or a car. And we don't get that following, like you don't have, like, say, the Ford Mustang guys, they don't stay out. They'll watch maybe a little bit, but they don't, support the channel because we're not stuck on one vehicle. We're stuck on all.
Yeah, I think for a lot of the niche car communities, it's kind of a mutual thing between us and the really focused communities, because we are not laser focused on one certain vehicle, so they're not quite as laser focused on us either. And that's just kind of the way it goes. We get to dabble in all the different and be involved in all the different car communities, the Mopar community, the Camaro community, and the Mustang community, but we don't get to be quite as elevated a status in any one of those communities at the same time.
Right.
But they have been really good to us, and most of those communities and stuff is just we don't put as much attention on them, so we don't get quite as much attention in return. It seems fair to me.
Right, because
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, because I follow some Fox Body channels, and I make comments and they got really good channels, and I continue to follow them, and I never got anybody from that community to come over to the channel, our channel, to watch our Fox videos or even the car show videos, because there's some Corvette channels I watch, and the Fox Body, a couple of channels in there. There's a few of them that are pretty good, and they haven't jumped over. But yeah, the Mopar community's been great. Because we get a few that follow us, and the Camaro guys have been really good too.
Yeah, they're all
we try to do them the favor too and follow their channels too, the Mopar and the Camaro guys. They've been really good, and then everyone else too that's been following us. We've been trying to support them the best we can.
Yep, and it's hard to support 3 different communities like that as much as if you were to focus on just one. And so that's why I think it's I don't have a problem with them not supporting us quite as much as they do the other ones that have the same laser focus on their particular niche. Is it because we're not quite as
we feel the same way too.
Yeah.
And they'll hit the channel up once in a while, which is nice, and then we hit theirs up, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think eventually we'll hit a tipping point where channels like yours and ours, if we just keep supporting them and being good to them, and because we've met so many good people in these separate communities, that your channel and our channel will both become one of those places where it already has to some extent, where all the different guys from all the different car communities can come and interact with each other without, especially in our live shows and stuff, without having to worry about, just leave that, this one's better than that one stuff at the door, and interact the way they do at the car shows and stuff that we go to, because they behave the same way at the car shows. That you don't see any of that kind of rivalry at the car shows. They just get together and they look at each other's stuff and they compliment each other's stuff, and they enjoy seeing each other's stuff and how they're doing the different stuff, and our pages can become the same way. I mean, it's a little struggle right now. I think it has more to do with the size of our channels right now, and the amount of time that we spent, being serious about it. Because my channel's like 11 years old, and I did a lot of the same thing you did. It just, there wasn't that much on it for a long time. And then at a certain point in the past, I got really serious about it, and I've been serious about it ever since. And you can see,
and he's gotten more and more serious over the last year. Right.
And you can see your channel took a big turn around 7 months ago, and continued to more and more content and better content. If you go look at the videos, you can see improvement, a great deal of improvement, and a great deal more, it's quality and quantity increase.
And with our channel, it's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that. We're going at it. Yeah, we've been learning as we're going. Let's get in the
so
lag.
Have we. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, the lag's kind of scary because it's hard to get the timing right.
It is. You try to get the timing right, and it's the live stuff.
Each other. Fab Automotive Detailing wants to know what's up, Ouzo.
Hey, tell him how's it going. Good to see him.
Yep. And Rusty Zipper says that Mopar is 100% the best community.
Mopar community, yay.
Yay, but I don't think so.
They have been. We've been with the Mopar community for a while. I mean,
they had
last summer with our Charger, we were following a lot of them. We still do. They are a good community. They really are. It's nice to see.
I think
it's nice to see them. We don't have the Charger no more, and it's nice to see a lot of them are still following us. And it is pretty cool to see that. I mean, we have the Jeep.
I think the car community in general is just awesome.
Yeah, and
I mean, I love going to the car shows, and when we're out here at the local car shows, we're getting recognized now. And it's really awesome.
We haven't got yet.
Not yet.
Well, our hangout is Big Boys on Saturdays, and the show started Saturday, but we were doing yard work. We didn't make it. We were too tired by the time we got done. And that's our hangout, and it's the same thing. Everyone has their different cars, but everyone bonds together pretty good. And so, but I only have a couple videos of I think when we had one or two of the Big Boys.
Not more than
at the end of the season, I took a nice video. It's one of our beginning ones. And so I think the more we take out there, they might, say stuff. We'll talk to a couple of guys too out there.
Yeah.
But then
before
last week,
last week, we went to the Roush factory out in Livonia, Michigan.
The museum.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
They had an open house, so we took some footage. So if you're like Mustangs, that was the place to be.
Yeah, they had a
Oh, yeah.
I'm
jealous now.
He had some Fox I wanted to take home. So we'll have some footage of that.
I will definitely be watching.
Yeah, I'm psyched to see that. And that's another thing I like about our channels. With the similarities and the differences, us being in different areas of the East Coast, y'all get to hit other car shows and events and stuff that would be very difficult for us to go to, and we can hit all these events down here. And not only do we get to watch each other's stuff and enjoy each other's stuff, but then everybody in between can see all the stuff that they can't go to, or that's just too far away or impractical because of cost or time constraints. But one more thing I wanted to say about, before we get too far away from the subject of the Mopar community, there's another similarity there too. You say that they were there with your channel since last summer, around that 7 months ago, I guess. And they were one of the first car communities to support our channel as well. And before I even started trying to build and grow the Sane community and unite car communities down here around our channel, because we were the one that had the variety. And the Mopar community was there, and they were really supporting us before the letter came out, before anything came out. It was late last year, and that was one of the reasons why I started doing video every single day, was because I was finally getting some attention from a car community, and it was the Mopar community, and it was very inspiring. And you can see in some of the videos that some of the guys do that are in the Mopar community of some of their Mopar events, what a big turnout they have, and they just really take community building seriously. And maybe I'm not trying to say anything bad about the Camaro community or or take away anything from the Mustang community. Maybe I just need to meet some more of the people there to see maybe some more intense community building. But for right now, what I've seen, I just want to say kudos to the Mopar community for really turning out and really supporting, especially even when like you said, after your Mopar was gone. And see, my Mopar is gone right now too. My Dodge with the Magnum engine in it and everything, it's gone too. So, and they're still here.
Yeah, it is good. It is nice to see. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it is a really good community, especially with the challenges. We've done a few of the challenges when we had the Charger. He really misses the Dodge Charger.
The dirty car challenge. I like that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was nice doing the challenges with them. And then plus two, they had it open to anybody to get in their challenges, any vehicle pretty much. So and that's what's nice. They're really good, great supporters. They really are. Yeah, great group of guys to interact with on YouTube and stuff.
Right. So you were talking about the Roush and being able to visit the Roush place now. Of course, we're all going to be looking forward to seeing some of those videos.
Yeah. They had an open house. It was at the museum, at the Roush's museum, and and they had a lot of the NASCAR cars. They had Mark Martin's cars in there, his older cars in there. And it was nice that they didn't have nothing roped up. The only car they had roped up was the Ford GT.
Ooh.
And yeah, and you can get real close to it. So we got some good footage of that one. And it's a lot of the NASCARs, we got some footage. And the one that really caught my eye, was an 88 Fox body. It's a 101 351 twin turbo. And it was underneath and with the stock hood. And yeah, I didn't want to leave that. I didn't want to leave that car. That thing was beautiful. I wanted to take it with me.
Did you find anything in there you wanted to lick?
What's that? It was that one. That's the one I wanted. He was checking out.
There was the one car that really caught me was it was a 93 Cobra Fox body, but it had like no miles on it. It was just like dropped in there, and I just kept looking at that car. I really wanted that one.
Yeah, they had it delivered on a truck, no miles, brand new.
Wow.
It looked like it just came off the showroom. I mean, I'm like, man, that's not.
I saw one on the way home from the gym the other day. I really would have liked to have bought. It was a Coyote.
Yeah,
Oh,
the 5-liter Coyote.
Yeah, the Coyote. That's a good engine. You know?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
a couple of them
awesome.
in there.
I think so. Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. When we got there too, in a good timing, and then because we took a bunch of footage, and pretty much when we were done with the footage, then we got walked around and looked at everything again, and it just got really packed. So I mean, it was lucked out when we got there. We got there right when it opened, and was able to get some good footage before all the crowd came in.
That we're checking on the chat.
Yeah, they have a bunch of Corvette videos that came out. New ones you gotta check out.
Yeah, I have to watch them.
Well, they're making a lot of good points in the chat, but we kind of went over that already. So
Yeah.
I want to hear more about Roush.
I can't see them. Yeah, go ahead. You can.
Well,
let you talk.
what was sweet was you walk in, it was like pretty much like a warehouse, and then they had another room separate that just had Mustangs in that room. Nothing else, but I mean, it was pretty much anywhere. They had like one older one, and then the rest were like a little bit newer, like 2000s and up. And then that was really nice being able to see all those. And then the other room they had just it kind of varied, a lot of like NASCARs, and then they had a couple like just stock like cars that came probably straight from the dealership and all that.
Yeah, he had a couple olders, not many. A lot of NASCARs, a lot of Mark Martin's cars from his Taurus and Thunderbird.
Wow.
When he ran them. And it was nice too because you got to get right in it. And so I got some footage of put my hand inside there and looking at the seat, and that it was pretty neat.
Wow.
Any early 70s stuff?
No, he didn't have anything, that old in there. He had just a couple of that old Army vehicle, and that was
they had a couple older Mustangs, like the 60s, and like probably up to like 69.
Yeah, I think he had one. I think he had one or two. Yeah, but not many.
Two, I think.
It was mainly like Fox bodies, the 90s, and then some 2000s and up, and then a few NASCARs, and then he had a couple older race car Mustangs, Fox bodies. When they raced in the series. Those were pretty neat to see because I've never seen one of them. And then he had one Dodge. What was that Dodge? Yeah, Magnum?
Yeah, it was a Magnum.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. We took some footage of the Magnum, what we could, because it was like sitting in a bad spot. And then they had the Bullet Mustang was pretty nice.
Yeah,
too.
It was like a 2000 and something. Early 2000s.
Early 2000, the Bullet. And I think that didn't have any miles on it either, did it?
No, that one or that white SVT next to it.
Yeah, he had an SVT Cobra too with no miles on it.
I really liked that one too. Yeah. That was nice.
Yeah, we'll have to make a couple of videos on that on the Roush.
Coming about
Oh yeah,
the monster that shared one ear. We are now considered the monster who shares one ear.
Oh,
From the chat.
yeah.
So now I noticed you have a new video out right now from the Monroe County Fairgrounds. I got to see a little bit of that, but I didn't get to see all of it yet. I've been running late. So, you want to tell us anything about that? Anything to look for?
It's just like a lot of like car parts. It's nice to just walk around. So if you guys like to see like older car parts, and they did have like a car show part, which was pretty nice. They had a lot of nice cars in there.
Yeah, we took some footage of the cars in there. They got some nice Mopar collection here with the Chargers. That emerald green one. That thing was beautiful.
That was nice.
And yeah, it seems like we've been going there for about 5 years, and then now last year they started doing it twice a year, and then each time you do it, it's just getting bigger and bigger. And you can find some good parts in there for, a reasonable price. You gotta watch what you're looking for. Know the prices for new, and have your eyes set out what you're gonna spend for used stuff. But they have a lot of new stuff that you can get reasonable price. Distributors and gaskets and you can save some money just buying them there instead of ordering it, online or buying them at your local store. And each time you go there, you don't know what you're gonna find. It's like a different theme every time you go there. Like next time might be old trucks. Sometimes it's all Ford and sometimes it's all Chevy. And last time it was
just like a lot of like Camaro.
It was a lot of Camaro stuff this year.
And then a little bit of like Corvette stuff.
Yeah, this year picked up on the Corvette stuff. And then yeah, you have to watch the video and look at the 57 Chevy straight six. I got some good footage. That thing was beautiful. Yeah, straight six, and he had it running. It was nice. He let it run so I can get like real close to the engine underneath the wheel well, and took some footage on it. And then he let it run so I can get that. But that thing was nice. It was a gasser too. It was straight six, dual quad. Yeah, it was. You get to see some unique stuff there.
Yeah, they sounds a lot like the Volkswagen Bugapalooza that we went to, because they always have a swap meet with that event as well, and it takes up, I don't know, probably a third of the space, which is enormous amount of space. Right. And they raise a lot of money for the Ronald McDonald House around here, which is really necessary for the families of the children to stay in when the children are getting their medical care. So
yeah, I see that video. That's good.
Yeah, and it's like a treasure hunt, walking around there and just looking for treasure with all the stuff that they have.
It is, because you got to walk around and you see stuff that you want but you don't need, and you're like, nah, really. And then you think about it. I want it, but you don't need it, And that's how I get. Well, I want that, and then ends up just buying one thing. I got that air cleaner, and I've been looking for one of those for a while. I was going to order one. This one I got to cut the end and raise it up, but it will fit. It's going to fit perfect on there. But you go on eBay, they're at least $150, $200. And I got it for $50. So
and you can see a lot of parts too that remind you of projects that you've done in the past on restorations and fix them up vehicles, and just daily drivers that you were keeping running and stuff, and that you hadn't thought about for years and years and years, and you'd forgotten you even owned one of those cars, but you see that part there and you're like, wow, yeah. I remember that, and I was building this engine and I was doing that, and so
what I like is when we're actually doing a build and we find that one thing that we couldn't find. And
that's nice. Yeah, you can get some. Yeah, you good, and especially when you walk around some more and you throw a price, and then most of the time they take it because they don't want to load it back up.
yeah, they don't want to load stuff back up. We've been there.
They don't want you get it pretty cheap. And yeah, we hit a few swap meets, but this is the only one we took footage of. We took footage of it last year too. Yeah, there's a couple of them that we go to. And we drove out to the one in Columbus before. That's for the Ford one at Columbus, Ohio. That's a big one. Yeah, I bought a lot of stuff out there. Gee, I mean, just loaded up the truck.
Yeah, and it's a completely different experience from going to a junkyard and stuff too, because stuff is usually more spread out to where you can see it better. People just trying to spread everything out because they're really trying to make a good presentation and get some sales. And the other thing is the lack of mosquitoes. You know, almost every you go to the junkyard, you get eat up with mosquitoes. You go to these swap meets and stuff, and it's almost like somebody sprayed or something. They're just not there.
Right. Then you don't have to get dirty taking the parts off.
Right, and you don't have to look out for snakes either.
Yeah.
I let him deal with the junkyard.
Yeah. Yeah, our junkyards are not too bad for some newer stuff. They're pretty good, but the older stuff it's slimming up because you're in the northern states. Everything just rots right out. So it's hard to find the older stuff at the junkyards around here.
Yeah,
but
y'all have a big problem with rust. And I guess when you go to the yards, you'd have a big problem with rust and getting things apart and stuff like that. We have the trade-off here. We don't really have as much rust and seized parts and stuff like that. So yeah, you can get some older stuff, but we do have the copious amounts of mosquitoes in the summertime and the snakes. You really got to look out for snakes because you're messing with cars that's been sitting there for quite a while. And I mean, sometimes you go up to an SUV or something and there'll be one just like right there, like he owns the thing sitting on the dash. Right. Just like, I dare you to get to look in here to see if that's got the right console. Right. Other times they'll be under the seat. And so you just like, you got to be careful.
Yeah. Reaching around. Yeah. There's a snake ready to get you. Yeah. We don't have that.
That's why I let him deal with it.
I would too. Yeah, that's why we usually hit the swap meets. I usually go to the junkyards for like if I need relays or something like that, something electrical that's easy to get, or a couple times I bought a couple throttle cables there, for the Mustang that are shorter because it's carburetor now. I picked a couple up there, something easy you can get to and not worry about the rust. It's good for relays and alternators and some wiring. It's a good place to pick up, especially now the modern cars, because a lot of the cars are putting the battery in the trunk, so you can get those, the positive cables and that. You can use them as grounds too, and they're nice and thick. And you can get long ones, for grounds and nice, and get them pretty cheap. Those are nice to get too, having some extra positive wire laying around. And now they're longer now too, because like especially the Chargers, it's in the trunk now. So you can pick up some, decent stuff. That's new too.
Yeah. So, I think you've had the channel for a couple of years. Is that right?
Yeah. It was just mainly I made the channel just to watch videos, and then I started using that. I bought the Jets paints in it, and I put it on the truck, and it was just I just made a video on my phone, just documenting it, like the month mainly, and then I just wanted to do like every few months do like another video on how it was lasting, through if it's gonna. They say it's supposed to last a year, and I wanted to see if it was gonna last a year or close to it. And that's where I just threw it on there just to have it. No one really watched it. And then I had a video of the Mustang, just like a little same thing with my phone with it running. And then when me and him went to the Woodward last year, was it Woodward at the Model A plant?
Yeah, it was Woodward.
Yeah. We took a bunch of footage there and we just made some videos of that. And then we just were talking, hey, we should start putting this stuff on YouTube and making videos. Because we're always at the car shows or car scene, and so that's when we started really concentrating on making videos and learning how to edit a little bit and how to take the footage a little better, You know, because that was tricky. Our first time, it was like, oh, that video, you know, our footage, we didn't know what angles to take or, you know, what to show. So each time we just got better, and then we're still trying to get better. And so we're going to the same car shows, and we've already been talking about how we're going to get, you know, try to get better footage and stuff like that. So we can have better
that's
videos
awesome.
and stuff. So, because there is a lot of events here in Michigan. Once the weather warms up, usually in mid-May, there's a car show almost every day that you can hit. But we mainly just go to the one once a week and a couple once in a while during the week, and then we hit the big ones. We got the Corvette car show coming up in, when's that, June?
Mid-June.
Yeah, mid-June. We're going to go take the C4 up to there. And then the May 18th, we're going to a private event at the Milan Dragway, the drag strip. So we usually do that, and then we'll take some footage of that. We get to, you know, race on the track. I'm gonna let him. He's gonna run this year.
Yep.
I'm
Oh
gonna
wow,
watch.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be his first time on the track. So he's 16 now. He can run. He's gonna run the C4. We'll see what numbers we can get out of it. So I got to hurry up and replace those U joints in it this weekend.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, the ones kind of make a little noise. It's not bad, but I'm going to replace that. So he's going to run the C4 at that private event. So and we got some friends.
Awesome.
Yeah, it won't be our next Corvette video because we've got some other Corvettes that we've videoed that we're going to edit. But our next in the series of Corvette videos where we're doing the generations will be the C4 because I finally got around to doing the C3.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Right, which was one of my favorite body styles. The C3 was. I mean, I've always really loved that body style. I think they really did a good job designing that body. It's just, I just can't say enough good things about it, even though I'm biased a little bit because I have a C4. But I can't help but wish that my C4, if they would had some of those curves that C3 did. That would be a great combination because I mean the frame and the suspension and everything, just they made great improvements when they made the C4, and they got fuel injection back, which they lacked in almost all of the C3s. I think maybe one or two of the last C3s got throttle body injection, but they didn't have multi-port fuel injection yet, like they had way back in the past, which was one of the things that was missing out of the Corvettes for a long time, like 20 years, I think it was. And then the C4 came along and they had true fuel injection again, multi-port fuel injection in the first year, but they had a lot of trouble with it. In 85, which is the one I've got, was the better fuel injection, added another 20 horsepower and was more reliable. And yours is, your C4 is what year, 87?
87, yep.
Right. So even more improvements.
It's not fast.
Well,
they're not fast.
It's
That's
the 80s, so yeah.
But they're fun to drive. I mean, it's all stock. We're gonna leave it that way. It is fun to drive. It really is. It handles great on the freeway, and I mean, why mess it up? You know, it's all stock. It's got the stock exhaust on it. The only thing that's not stock is basically the tires and alternator and the belt and the battery. Everything else is pretty much stock on it. And then we're gonna go run it on the 18th and see what it would do.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So hopefully I can get some decent footage of, and then everyone else running, because there's going to be some fast cars out there. You know, there's some Mustangs that run in the 10s that show up, and there's a few guys that run pretty good. And it's more laid back too, because it's just a small group. And it's, you know, a bunch of friends just having a good time.
Awesome. You guys are in Michigan. I got a dirty little secret. I was born in Michigan. What part of Michigan are you guys in?
We're in Southgate.
Well, I was born in Wyandotte.
That's the next city over.
Yep.
We could get this out, wind out in like 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I only remember the snow.
Yeah, we get a lot of
Big
snow.
Snow bluffs. My dad,
Yeah, this
he
is-
thought it was funny to set me up in a snow bluff that's over his head.
We get a lot. Even though we're in the southern part, we do get hit pretty good. Not like up north. They were getting still snow. I think a week or two ago, they were still
Ugh.
getting snow up north.
I
Yeah.
hate it.
It's been a long winter.
Yeah. That's not
Yeah,
for
you guys
me.
are in Georgia now. You get the nice weather now.
Yeah, we get
You gonna do videos
bipolar
Mustang
weather.
or your C4? Are you gonna do videos of your C4 Mustang? You're gonna make some newer ones and put them on your channel?
The of the Mach 1, the
Yeah,
72
the
Mach 1. Yeah, it's well, I am planning on doing some more videos of that, and I've been anxious to do that.
He's gonna do videos of me driving it.
And I've just been concentrating on everybody else's vehicles so much and the events and stuff, and I've been getting more and more motivated to do more of the charitable events and stuff because it's helping them get more people.
Oh, exposure.
Yeah, and get more people participating, and then that gets the charities more money. And that's a really good feeling when you can make a difference and an impact there. But at the same time, I also really, really enjoy doing some of the videos like we did at the museum with the really old turn of the century cars. Those things were fun. And it was great looking at the first car in the world, you know, where all the engine parts were still exposed and moved out there behind the seat in open air, and you could just see everything, including the crankshaft, the big, huge, heavy flywheel that they would take that flywheel and spin it to start the engine, you know, and it's just some amazing stuff, you know, and you can just see burnt, bruised, and bleeding all over that car. You can just imagine that people getting hurt all the time. And
that would be nice. The car.
Yeah, you'd have to be tough to be driving one of those daily driver. Kind of like our old Triumph. That's a man's bike.
No, it's my bike.
But yeah, and then speaking of bikes, you know, that old turn of the century Indian motorcycle. I mean, it was like one of the fastest things on the street then. Cars, motorcycles, everything. It was one of the fastest things around. And it had no brakes on the front, and just might as well have been bicycle brakes on the back. Because at the time, that was what they had. They had bicycle technology, and they were pretty much putting engines on like bicycles. So I could just imagine that. It just seemed like a terrifying concept to be racing that thing.
Yeah, they raced on wood too. The wood tracks. Yeah, I watched videos of the wood tracks. They raced on their bank, and I'm like, no, there's no way.
Yeah. So you see those kind of guys racing like that, you kind of get the feeling that if they had brakes, they wouldn't have been using them anyway. So.
and I really truly believe that they needed helmet laws back then.
Yeah, they just put up.
You are driving on, if you're driving on a wooden track, flat out, like no. No. You need a helmet.
So do you take any
brain damage?
Do you take any of your cars to the car shows? You guys
I've
take
got
them out
a room
there
full of trophies and plaques and stuff like that. So
yeah, I've seen it. Some of the footage you had out of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it. I used to do a lot of that stuff, and I used to do. I don't know.
Well, last year we took the Harley and the Triumph.
Yeah, we did take the Harley and the Triumph to a show last year, but that was really the only one that we took any of our stuff to, But I used to take them on a regular basis, and I used to, when I was doing that, I was also running 12 bays and doing 400 to 600 units a year, and I had a crew of 5 to 10, and then we would do 1 or 2 show car or just regular restorations during the year, and another 12 or 13 vehicles that were just kind of, I called them fix them up cars, because you just fix them up to sell during tax season, and we'd sell most of them during tax season, and just a few of them during the year. But we sell a lot more in 2 months during tax season than we had all year long. Most of the time, we're just in between customer jobs, we would work on a fix them up car or a restoration or show car. So when we complete 1 or 2 show cars a year, and most of those, I never even got a chance to take them to the show before they were already sold, because somebody would come buy them, and sometimes they would buy them before we even finished them. And so, you know, we had pretty good luck with that, but it was kind of a low volume thing, as it wasn't like we were trying to do 5 or 10 show cars a year. Most of the cars we did were just, you know, I don't know, $2,000 to $6,000 fix them up cars, besides customer cars. And most of the bays, luckily, were filled up with customer cars, because that was so much better working on somebody else's car. Because I have a tendency to get all crazy with my repairs if there's no customer involved, and I want to, while I've got all this apart, I want to go ahead and fix this thing too, and fix this thing too.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And with the customer involved, they kind of rein you in, because they'll be like, nah, you can fix this other extra little thing, but not all that other stuff you're talking about. I really can't afford that. And you'd be like, oh, okay, and I'll just do that and this and that. And then you can actually complete a job in a reasonable amount of time, because they won't let you just go ahead and just fix everything all at once.
They got a budget. Well,
they got a budget.
When I did the Mustang last winter, I redid the whole suspension's brand new on it. And like you said, when you're tearing stuff apart, you're like, oh, now I got to fix this. Well, I might as well do it, because I have this out of my way. And so, and it takes, you know, twice as long, because nothing, you know, you take your controller on. I end up cleaning underneath there where I had, you know, where stuff's out of the way, and then painting underneath there. The car's not perfect. It needs body work. It's got some rust and some couple dings on it. It's got scratches on it. But I don't know. I'm in no hurry to do anything like that. I like to just take it out and drive it. And then the shows we go to, we just go there and hang out. There's no signing in or nothing like that. A lot of it's just everyone meets up there on the weekends. There's a few of them, and just hang out and talk and check everybody's stuff out. And that's nice. A lot of guys have cars, and they're still working on them. You know, half of it's still primed up. But you want to, you know, here in Michigan, you only have a few months to drive them, and you basically, you know, want a drivable, you know, project, because you don't want, you want to get out there and, you know, and drive it a little bit, because we got winter coming, you know, and you get the itch, and like, I want to drive this thing. That works.
Here, it's like you have summer, winter. That's it. Up there, it's winter, summer, winter.
Right. A couple months of summer, and then you're done. So you got to try to get out and do it. You know, like Monday, I finally took the Mustang for a little ride Monday, but it felt good to finally get it out of the garage. It's been sitting in the garage since, I think, end of October. I still got to put the transmission in it. I mean, it's drivable. It's just when you're under load, it doesn't want to go in third. But just cruising around town, it's fine.
Yeah,
so I already got the.
I saw that. Hard. Yeah, I saw you in the video with the transmission, and I was thinking, he's gonna love putting that transmission in, because it's about one of the easiest transmission installs and removals that I ever did was those straight shifts, straight shift rear wheel drive, 2-speed. I mean 2-wheel drive, rear wheel drive, straight shift. I mean, there's really about as easy as it gets, unless you have a little trouble with the clutch lining up. But
just gotta get the clutch line out. I gotta drop the exhaust. That's probably be the worst thing, and then and then take the drive shaft off and be good to go. And I'm gonna do the U joints while the drive shaft's off, while it's off. I might as well, and then get it ready. I'm gonna get the Corvette ready first, and I probably won't do the Mustang until after we race at Milan. I'm not gonna bring it.
Probably spend as much time jacking the car up and getting prepared as you will actually putting it in there. Because once you get in there, you get prepared, it'll go pretty quickly.
Yeah. It'd probably take me longer because I got to have it where whatever I take off, and if it's dirty above it, I clean it. So I'll probably do that when it's out. So it might take a day. So what I'm going to do is end up cleaning that area and then, probably painting whatever I need to be paint up and then put everything back in. So probably a day, clean it up, and then try to do it when I'm off. And me and him can throw it in there, put him to work.
Yeah, and you don't have a lift, do you? You got to do that all around. So you may have a little bit of trouble with the exhaust. I'm spoiled with all these lifts, and when I go to take exhaust loose, and I've got all this room. So if I have to tilt something, even if it's 5 or 6 foot long, I can just tilt it as far as I want to maneuver it in and out.
Yeah, that makes it nice. Yeah, it's laying on your back and then working on there. It makes it twice as hard because that's how I did the suspension in the garage. And it was many days laying there trying to put the control arms back on and have him out there kicking the rear end in to try to line everything back up. Wow. That car fights me on everything I do to it. That Mustang just never wants to leave the garage. It seemed like every time I work on it, it fights back.
Yeah, I think
they definitely have character, Mustangs. They got personalities.
This one sure does.
Yeah.
This thing wasn't easy. Or if something will break while I'm working on something, like the brakes. Yeah. Last year it was I wanted to replace the master cylinder, and I snapped all the bolts, so I had to replace the booster.
Wow.
Well, I
had to get a booster, and then I'm like, and then after that, I end up, you know what? Well, I got rid of part. I redid all the brake lines, so, and then that just prolonged it, working on it more. And that was after I did the suspension. So I was basically ready to go drive this thing, get alignment, and go. And then me and him end up doing all the brakes.
Yeah, we had a similar deal with the Mach 1. I was going to get it out and take it to another show, and I did. And right before I did, I was checking everything out, and we had very similar problem because the pedal just I went almost to the floor, and I'm like, no, this ain't good. So took the master cylinder off, and sure enough, it was leaking out the back. But it had leaked so much into the booster, I was concerned about the booster because it leaked in there and just sat there. And then when I checked on the price difference between buying the master cylinder separately or getting it with the master cylinder and booster combination, I think the master cylinder booster combination was only like $20 more. And we're talking, well over $100, and $20 more for something that's well over $100, and it was still in the $100 to $200 range. It didn't push it up over 200. I just said, man, just get the whole thing. Don't take a chance and replace the whole thing.
Yeah, you might as well whenever it's apart.
Right, yeah, and then that put me under the dash.
Oh man, they don't give you much room. You're like this, and then you're laying there and you're trying to, feet are hanging in the air,
upside down.
Man, that takes longer than getting that. Did I have you do one bolt? That one nut on there? Yeah, I had him do the top one. His hands was able to get in there. Yeah, that's
it's fun. Handy when your kids are old enough to help out and they're still young enough to be around. I think the Jaguar was the last restoration that we did before the kids were grown and gone, and they were a big help in that Jaguar project. And if you look through some of the videos, you can see my son Matthew working on it some, and you can see my daughter Crystal in there working on it some too. And neither one of them was happy about it, but
no, they're not.
Yeah, you see this hand? Compare it to a normal size hand. Guess who
Right, you
gets to
can't.
do the little stuff?
Right, you got to. Yeah, I used him a few times for the little stuff. Come on, you know, he got good at bleeding brakes.
Oh, that was terrible. It was like, I think, what was it, like a week apart? We did it the first time, and then we had to redo it, and it was terrible.
Yeah, we did have a week apart. Had him do it again. We didn't do it good enough, and yeah, he was like, yeah, that was fun.
That was the
But
one.
sometimes I was messing with him too. I just keep pumping.
You tell me that?
Yeah, a couple of times I just made him like just messing with him. Yeah, keep pumping it again. All right, hold it. Oh yeah, do it again. Even though I knew we were good. He had a.
It was leg day.
Yeah, that's it. It was leg day for him. He didn't have to go. Yeah, he got to work
Speaking
out.
of gym, we did that today.
Yeah, we did that.
We went yesterday.
You went yesterday?
Yes, we got to go to the gym too. Yeah, we went yesterday. And then over the weekend we didn't need to go. We moved 7 yards of dirt. So
wow,
we had him working the wheelbarrow over the weekend.
Oh, you wheelbarrowed 7 yards of dirt? That's some work.
Mm-hmm. From the street to the backyard and the front, yeah.
Was there any incline involved?
A little bit,
yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, we took turns. He would do 2, and then I would do 2. And then we kept going. We got it done. We made the piles in the back. Yeah, we took a couple breaks. It was probably about, 3.5 hours?
Around there, yeah.
And we kept at it. It got hot that day, too.
Yeah, it did.
Well, that Jaguar we did, you asked about taking the stuff to shows and stuff. That Jaguar, I think we were in our 3rd year of getting 2nd place at World of Wheels with the Mach 1, which I still am convinced was a much better restoration than the Jaguar. We spent a lot more time on it. I think it was like the 3rd time we'd restored it. And because I restored it and drove it and then restored it and drove it. Plus I had, it was one of my earliest restoration. I restored a lot of other cars and repaired a lot of other cars. And then I look back at it and see a lot of mistakes I made, take it all back apart, redo it again. So meanwhile, we get to this Jaguar and we did the Jaguar. And the only thing we took back apart on it was the doors so that we could put the Lambo door hinges on it and everything. So we take it with the Mach 1 to the World of Wheels, like the 4th year of the World of Wheels, 3 years, we 2nd place 3 years in a row with Mach 1. That first year the Jaguar was there, 1st place. First time out.
Wow.
First show I ever
that's
took
pretty.
it to.
First time out, 1st place. That's good. Do you still have the Jaguar?
I still do.
You guys still have?
Yeah. Yeah, she's.
Yeah, but it's a 12-cylinder, so when we go on a trip in it, we will have to plan by gas stations, not by destinations.
That's something get to drive local. Something to just take
absolutely. Absolutely. And where we live
at look at and decide whether you're going to drive it, and then you stick the key in it, go and that's it, because you ain't got no gas.
we did. There are times when we have to move it from a different part of the garage to another part of the garage,
and we have to put gas in it before we can do that. That's how bad it drinks. It's definitely got a drinking problem.
Yeah, and it's multi-port fuel injected too, and it's got some hose and then line and then.
Let's cut out. Lost them.
Yeah.
Oh, it froze up. They still there?
I don't know.
Oh, must have crashed.
Yeah, so it seems like.
Uh-oh, we went out. Can you guys still hear?
It might have went out on their side or something.
Yeah, takes some.
That's weird.
Oh, we're on.
Hey, all right.
Wow.
We were afraid we lost you there. That was on our end.
Yeah, it froze up. It went talking about Jaguar. It just
Well, mountains. Wind blows the wrong way. Internet. So
yeah, we've been
we were talking about the all the hoses for the fuel injection system and all the potential leaks. And so it seems like almost every time we go to another problem we have, almost every time we go to move the car or use the car or take it to a show or anything, is there'll be at least of those joints is at least seeping a little bit of fuel. And the last thing you want to do, especially with an older car like that has lots of spark plug wires everywhere, is have a fuel leak. Because then if you have a stray spark, you've had it.
Oh yeah, that would be terrible. Yeah, that would be bad. That's the only bad thing about the old cars. Got to wash the fuel lines and make sure they're still in good shape. Got to, check them out. Yeah, because I replaced the Mustang fuel lines a couple years ago.
Yeah, that one. It wasn't that long ago. I went through and replaced every single one of them, and everything brand new. And since then, it's just been like one here, one there.
Right.
Before with the older stuff, it was leaks everywhere all the time. But putting all new stuff on it gets you down to one or two leaks here and there instead of leaks everywhere.
Well, it is so.
Yeah, there's no cure for British.
No.
there's just maintenance.
I mean, wiring
maintenance.
and I don't know why they can't build something better, but they're expensive.
Yeah, the Europe, anything European, it seems like it's expensive to fix or to get parts for.
Well, some of it's overly complicated, but then that's a blessing and a curse because the overcomplication comes from having 12 cylinders. But I wouldn't have that car without the 12 cylinders. That's one of the reasons why I got it because, when I was younger in the 80s, we were teenagers, and that was one of the cars that I always wanted to have as I didn't dream about having a collection of them back then, but I thought I would own one of those for a while. It's one of the cars I owned because at the time I'd have like one or two vehicles at a time. But then later on, I realized if you work hard enough and you work smart enough, you can have a driveway full of them. And,
or a parking lot full of them.
Yeah, if you're willing to work that hard all the time.
I plan to get at least 10 Mustangs because I love 10 different kinds of Mustang.
I'm gonna be working all the time.
But it's nice you had the 80s ones.
I'm gonna have to build some more bays.
I want to take one and Barbie car from hell. I want it to be pink with purple flames and very fast.
Which one? You want a newer Coyote or the Fox body? The Fox bodies are you can You can build
No,
it.
she's going to want one of those Coyotes.
Yeah.
She's going to want something with the dual overhead cams and
Yeah.
variable cam timing and all that kind of stuff. She's going to want the streets.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more newer, and yeah, the Mustangs, yeah, you can find them pretty cheap. They're easy to
I
work
want
on.
everybody in Dalton to say, "There goes that again."
Yeah, it's getting a little laggy again.
Right. I mean, if I get another Mustang besides the Mach 1, I would like to get something that's similar to the one that was in that first Transformers movie. That had the writing on the side that said "to punish and enslave." The black one. No, that wasn't well, it kind of was a Mustang. It was a Roush, wasn't it, or a Celine or something?
I think it was a Sling. Wasn't it a Sling?
Yeah.
I think it was a Sling. Yeah, I think it was a Sling.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think it was a Celine.
We are having all kinds of internet problems on this end.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to, any plans or anything you'd like to reveal to the viewers before we lose you again?
Anything? You can talk a little bit.
What do you want me to talk about?
We got any plans like this
Coming
summer?
up soon, we're going to be putting a new ceiling on, trying out a new ceiling and wax. And then same thing with more car shows coming up, a little bit more on like the Corvette side, and definitely a lot more coming out for just like videos on the Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wants to do more videos on the C4 Corvette, and yeah, he's got some plans to try to maybe make a video like every couple weeks on the Corvette. And then he's talking about the new sealant. We're gonna try a new sealant right now. It's kind of popular and it's not expensive. We're gonna try a new sealant and a wax. We just haven't decided what vehicle we're gonna try it on, and then do a few months test on it, see how it's lasting like through the summer. And
Okay.
because we did a couple, like we do on our channel, we do have a lot of detailing videos on the channel, if no one knows, and we don't basically like teach you how to detail. We just like test products, like how are they lasting in the environment, because our vehicles stay outside. The only ones that stay in the garage is the Mustang and the Vet. And with the winters and that, we want something to protect our vehicles. So we test kind of products that are affordable, and then see how they hold up in the environment. And yeah,
well, up there you definitely have to have something affordable with all the salt and snow and stuff. I mean, how do you protect the cars for winter?
We put that paint sealant on there. It's like a wax, but they call it's a paint sealant, and it goes on like a wax, and you let it sit for a little bit, and then you take it off, and then after a few hours you throw a wax on it. And the sealant it does, some of the sealant that we use does last, through the winter and longer, and it helps protect it from the salt. And like if you look at the Dodge Charger, for example, we use the claw sealant, and that's one of my favorites, but it's just harder to take off. And if you look at some of the videos with that color being black, and I would take a video and the car hasn't been washed in like 3 weeks, and we had snow in that, and it looked clean. Even when you washed it, it kept like the tar off, and then the dirt came right off of it. And
that's awesome.
That was one of my favorite products. Same thing with the Jet Seal, worked pretty good too. And we did a test on the truck. My truck, where I drive to work, it gets hit with a lot of industrial area, so you get to fall out, and then a lot of that stuff's on the road, and it gets wet. It gets all over your truck. And I test the product to see how it's protecting the paint when I wash it, and see if it's the tar still stuck on it, or if does the vehicle still look clean, so they're keeping some of the product off of it. And those are right now probably the two that work pretty good. And then we actually made a follow-up. We took footage of a follow-up the other day.
Yeah, about a day or two ago.
Yeah, with talking about the products that we already tested.
Well, that's good. Have you got, in that video, did you mention anything about what kind of car wash you're using that you can wash the car with that doesn't take your product off?
Yes. Yep. We did mention
well, that's good. That's really good. Do you have any affiliate links in the description? So if anybody wants to get those products, they can click on your affiliate link? because that's
yeah,
really
there is
convenient.
Amazon. Yeah, there is some for Amazon, and because a lot of the stuff you can get at Amazon, and yeah, we talked about the soap to have a soap that's pH balanced, and that won't strip your wax or your sealant, and
well, I'm definitely going to check those out because I have been wondering what kind of products we can use to improve our quality of clean on the automobiles.
Yeah, because we don't the nicer ones that we wash and keep clean, we do keep inside. But even with car covers and some of them, we have sheets and blankets and car covers and everything just piled up on them because critters get in there and stuff. And then sometimes even then you go pull the covers off of them and there's still a layer of dust and everything on there, and you're like, don't touch it, it'll scratch, you know.
Right, yeah, it does. And then because some of the one paint sealant that we use, a lot of people say it doesn't work. It gets a bad rep, but it worked for us. I mean, I followed the directions on the bottle. We did, and that's the one I'm talking about. Is like goes back to one of my first videos. Is that jet seal, and this is the product I was testing, and it just works great. That's what's on his truck now. Especially with us being in the north, we get nasty weather, and and we're in the industrial environment. A lot of trucks, and you're driving through the salt, and they put down a lot of salt.
Oh yeah,
you get a lot of that on the vehicle,
and
it's nice to have something protected
in cars. Not just rust; it just eats them.
It does, the salt, and then because the power plants in Detroit, they still use coal, so you're getting that stuff, and they deliver the coal. And then you got the trucks, and it gets on the road. And then when it rains, it's on the roads. And then when you drive through it, it's your whole side of your truck or cars, is black instead of brown like dirt. So you got that coal with coal and salt. It just rots everything out.
Yep.
Yeah, coal dust is very abrasive too, and all that stuff is abrasive, and some of it's caustic, and all at the same time.
Yeah. And we get a lot of maybe not so much his vehicle. It's my truck gets a lot of that on there, the coal, and that's why I usually before I hand wash it, I'd stop at a spray car wash and maybe spray it down, just to get some of that stuff off of it, and then I'd take it home to hand wash it. I'll just rinse it down at a spray car wash and then hand wash it at home.
Well, and he mentioned his. He wants to do some more with the C4. One of the things that's delaying the C4 Corvette video is that I want to include my C4 in the C4 generation video. And so I want to get some footage of that. I want to get it out and get it cleaned up. There's a couple of mechanical things I've been needing to do before I get it out so I can clean it. Of course, I can't clean it where it's parked at right now, because there's a lot of stuff around it that I can't get wet. And so I need to get it out, and I want to get that cleaned up. And so it'll probably still be another week or two by the time I get it out, get the footage, and then put all the footage together. And with all the other stuff I have to, that I want to edit, I don't have to. I mean, but I do that because I want to. And but that I want to edit from all the other footage that we've taken, and then I'll put that together. If in the meantime, if y'all have any footage from your C4 that you want included in that, you can just send that to me either on Twitter or my email, either one, and I'll be happy to include it in there in the C4 video.
Yeah, we can take it out and get a little bit of footage for you.
Yeah,
take it to a park or something. Out of the footage I have is in the driveway.
There's quite a few improvements between the 85 that I have, and the 87 that y'all have, because they continued to improve as they went along.
Okay, we need to be. Unfortunately, we need to start wrapping up. I had a long day. I've got a long day tomorrow.
We did too. You
Yeah.
gotta go to school tomorrow. I gotta go to work. Well, yeah, this was fun talking to you guys.
Oh, yeah, it's been awesome. I would love to stay on, but look at this face.
I don't blame you. Time to bed. If you do it again, it's fun.
Awesome.
Who you guys have next week?
Next week we don't have anybody lined up yet.
I like to see Johnny Pro if he's still on here. I like to see Johnny Pro get on.
Oh, Johnny Pro would be great.
Would be awesome.
That would be great if Johnny Pro would commit. So I guess Johnny Pro's been called out by Ouzo Lou.
That's it. He's next.
Insanefriends.
So do you hear that, Johnny
He should be
Pro?
used to that being part of the Mopar community. He should be
one of the Mopar guys.
Yeah, he can even get on here and tell how great the Mopar community is too.
That's right, and he could talk about his Charger.
Yeah, that would be great too.
That'd be cool.
And that also even things out a little bit because we did spend a lot of time talking about Corvettes and Mustangs and stuff like that, and so that would help even things out a little bit. Yeah,
get the Mopar.
We did the Camaros.
Yeah, we started with Camaro though. Camaro time was a great one to start with for giving the Camaro community some much needed support and exposure.
Yeah, so it's only fair. Johnny?
Yeah.
Your turn.
Come represent. Balance us out.
That's it. He votes in. He's next. Yeah, you gotta have a mobile guy in there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we do. Well,
it
has been wonderful to sit down face to face with you.
Yeah,
love
great.
your videos.
Thank you. We like yours too. Yeah, because our channels are kind of like, appreciate it.
Definitely keep up the good work because, like I said, y'all are hitting a lot of stuff that we don't have down here and that we really can't afford to take the time off or spend all the money in gas and stuff to go way up there and hit those. And y'all kind of hit them for us and let us experience that too, as well as what we have down here. And we'll keep hitting the stuff down here and throwing it out there too, so everybody else can do that.
What's nice too, you guys are hitting your area that people can't get, and that's why we kind of make doing the videos the way we're doing them, because we don't talk a lot about the cars. It's mainly we show them. So I try to get as much footage as I can of the vehicles and then put it in the video, so people that's never been to the Detroit car scene or the auto show or Autorama, they can watch the videos, and if they ever want to go, they kind of know what to expect.
Yeah,
so that's why we try to get as much as we can, and we have fun doing it. It's a great time, for us to do it together.
Yeah, it's a real bonding experience.
Yeah, and it's almost like being there too, because when you're walking around with the camera like that and looking at this and looking at that, it's pretty much the same. It feels a lot like being there, because that's what I would do if I wasn't holding the camera. I'm walking down through there, I'd be like, "Ooh, look at this one. Ooh, that one looks nice too." And
that's what I'm doing. I hold it in front of me. I hold the camera in front of me, like right here, and just walk with it instead of up here. And then sometimes it's like kind of one of those extensions, and I can lift it up to get like higher views and stuff like that, just to kind of show something, to get the engine or above the vehicle. And that was our goal, is just kind of like show up, because I don't know everything about every car there. So to do the talk about it would be hard. And that's why I would just show it like going to a car show. Basically.
Well, especially if you're trying to talk about it when you're there, you'll notice I do a lot of narration, and that's so that I can fact check, because every time I think I really know my stuff, I start doing the research and everything, and then I realize, oh, I got this little bit, I would have got this little bit wrong, and I would have got this little bit wrong. And I either relearn stuff or I learn new stuff.
Some things wrong, and they went into video.
I still
had to go correct them.
Yeah, still, even with doing the narration, I still get some stuff wrong.
And he kicks himself every time he does it. And I said, "Sweetie, you can't know everything."
Well, you do a good job on the videos. You do, talking about the description of the cars and that, to see the C3 Corvette one was great. Did a great job. And that's what's nice with your channel. You mainly talk about the vehicles and the SNAT, and we just go out there and kind of like show them. And that's what I'm afraid of. It's like some vehicles I don't know about, and we'll just show a video of it. And then and then trying to find the time to do the research on it. You know, especially like going to the car show. There's a lot of cars to try to research and then, you know, try to talk about. Well, we talked about it before. We might like pick like one car or maybe two and maybe talk about it real quick and then throw it in there and then just have, you know, the walking around.
Well, we'll probably do a little bit more toward, you know, because she's been asking some questions to some of the owners and interviewing the owners, and that's working out really well. And we'll probably do more of that for the future, because not only is it working out well, but I'd like to be able to somehow work in more of the event coordinators and the charities that they support, so that when some of these, we you know, here lately, we've both been getting a lot of non-car people visiting our pages and stuff and seeing some of our stuff. And we have opportunity to kind of open their eyes to what the car community is doing, not just the car community on YouTube, but the car community that's out there in their neighborhoods, and what they're doing with these car shows. A whole lot of them is they're really just fundraising for much needed charitable institutions. And
we go to a couple that do it.
Everybody's doing a whole boatload of work on their car to get it ready for each car show. Multiply that by how many people show up with their cars, just to get a whole bunch of people to come and give to these charitable events, because they're not going to win, in a lot of cases, any money at all. They might win a trophy or something like that. And I know I've been there, I've done it. I know the trophy, whatever, is not worth it. It's not what you go there for. It's for the other people and to meet people and to support something that helps somebody and in some way. And I'd like to include a little bit more of that into some of our videos, so that I can make a little bit more awareness that that all these great people are not just car people. They're also very active in their communities, and they're helping out the communities, and they're helping out all these charitable organizations and stuff. And they do have a purpose, and they are doing a lot of really good stuff. So
that's a good idea. Idea to put that in there, because you're right, and that's pretty cool that you said that you guys at your car shows do the charity stuff, because we go to a couple and they do the same thing. You know, they'll have it where it's a few dollars and you can register your car, and it's mainly the money to go to charity. There's a few dealerships that do it, that have car shows, and then all the money goes to a charity that they're holding. There's a few of them, because the one on Rams Horns does it, a charity one. They do a pretty good job too.
Yeah, and almost all of those car shows at the churches and stuff during show season, there's a lot of church car shows, and that's usually to benefit the church or some cause that the church is trying to get some funding for. And so in some of those cases, you'll see too some things that people who are not in the car community don't understand unless we educate them on what's going on there. Sometimes you'll see some cars that obviously are not show cars. They might be mod rods or daily drivers or project cars or something like that. And some people don't understand why they would enter those cars in the show. Well, they do that because the entrance fee that they pay goes to the charitable and they're supporting, and they want to be there, and they want everybody to know that they're supporting and that they're helping out. And that's what it's really all about. I mean, everybody is really supporting somebody, and they're paying it forward, so to speak, which is what's made our YouTube community so great, is this giving spirit. you know, when we go to each other's channels and we give each other watch time and we look through the videos and we like the videos and we subscribe to each other and things like that, we're trying to support our YouTube community. And this is something that's been going on in the car community, not just YouTube, but out here on the streets. And if we don't start telling people, you know, I've run into some people that think that it's just a bunch of rowdy car guys that get together and rev their engines and stuff, and it's not.
Yeah, revving engines and doing burnouts.
Exactly. And so,
but no, it is true. That's there's a lot of charitable car shows or car meets and stuff like that. They do that little donation. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
all right,
we'll try to incorporate some of that, and we appreciate you being on here. And thank you for coming.
It's been awesome. I know it doesn't look like it because I'm really tired, but I have enjoyed it a lot.
I don't blame you. Worked all day. Yeah, thanks for having us on. We appreciate it, and a great time in that. And we Johnny Pro next week.
Yeah. We're gonna talk to him.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
You guys have a good night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody in the chat, just want to give y'all a shout out before we go. Appreciate y'all being here too. Thank you for being in our chat. Camaro time. Hello.
Yay. Gregory Salvatore. Two wonderful guests.
Absolutely. It was so great having y'all here on the show.
We have WrestleMania in here.
Awesome.
Let's see.
Who else did we have that may still be here? Let's see.
Johnny Pro.
Johnny Pro.
Nathan likes
drums. Nathan likes drums.
Hey,
it's good to see you again,
you
Nathan. Andrew Pierce was here in the house.
Wow. Nightshade was the first in.
Was he really? And
yeah.
Mojave, Kentucky was here.
Fab Automotive Detailing.
Fab Automotive Detailing. Good to see you here. A lot of great cars. Hemi JL8 was here.
Wow, yay.
Rusty Zipper.
And there's Nightshade.
Let's see here. You get the flow. Nightshade was the first one in. Nightshade. First one in chat. Awesome.
Good night, everybody.
Guys. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
We'll see y'all again Sunday and again Wednesday.